Okay, since in accordance with our rules, section 11, section 15, which states 15, section 15 states.
Section 15.
Yes, the termination of inquiry. The committee shall terminate an inquiry and submit a report thereon within 60 days, calendar days, and we are already exceeded the provision of section 15 of the rules of the House, thereby constituting a violation of our own rules. So, we need a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we extend the hearing on the excess death pursuant to section 15 of our rules on inquiry in aid of legislation. So,
okay, sir, there's a motion to second the hearing on this excess deaths issue of the Committee on Public Order and the Committee on Human Rights. So this it was duly seconded. Any objection? Hearing no objection, the said motion is now approved. So the next item of our agenda is the remarks of the chairpersons. Ako muna, partner. Good afternoon. Pasensya na po kayo kung inabot po tayo ng almost 2 hours of waiting. We extended our hearing. Unfortunately, it's not our own volition. But we will be expediting yung ating pong hearing for today's issue. So, good afternoon to our colleagues, resource persons, and guests. Welcome to the joint meeting of the Committee on Public Order and Safety and the Committee on Human Rights. This is our 5th joint meeting, and hopefully today we will be able to finally resolve all the issues raised in the House Resolution number 1481 and address the concerns discussed in the previous meetings. Kahapon po ay natanggap ng aking opisina ang official copy ng amendments to the International Health Regulation o IHR na inadapt ng 77th World Health Assembly na naganap sa Geneva, Switzerland noong May 27 hanggang June 1, 2024. Ang dokumentong ito ay galing mismo sa ating Department of Health. Ang mga representatives ng DOH na nagpunta sa nasabing World Health Assembly ay inimbitahan ng committee ngayong araw para may paliwanag sa taong bayan ang mga pinag-uusapan doon at mga opisyal na posisyon ng ating bansa ukol dito. Napaka-importante na may klaro ng DOH sa atin ang mga adopted amendments sa IHR ay hindi makakasagasa sa karapatan at kalayaan ng bawat Pilipino. Nais din ng committee na marinig mula sa DOH na ang Pandemic Treaty, Convention or Accord na kasalukuyang pinag-uusapan ngayon ng mga member states ay nararapat na dumaan sa process of ratification sa Kongreso. Dapat din klaruhin ng DOH kung ano ang mga obligasyon ng ating bansa ukol dito at kung ano ang implikasyon kung sakaling hindi ito ma-ratify. Bago po tayo mag-umpisa, ay nais kong pasalamatan ang lahat ng dumalo sa ating pagpupulong ngayong hapon. Maraming po salamat at magsisimula na po tayo after the preliminary remarks of the Chairman of the Committee on Human Rights.
Salamat po, Chairman, aking mga colleagues and fellow members of the participating committees, resource persons na kaharap po natin ngayon, and our guests. Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat. Thank you again for sharing your time with us as we convene for this joint hearing of the Committee on Human Rights and the Committee on Public Order and Safety. Of course, the purpose of every legislative inquiry is to dive into the facts so that we can study the issues before us and make recommendations that will redound to the benefit of our people. The issues in this case include, as has been mentioned already by our Chairman of Committee Public Safety, the possible ratification of the Pandemic Treaty and the International Health Regulation or IHR within the context of the close to 300,000 excess deaths that were reported by the PSA in 2021. To accomplish this task, it is essential for us to gather all the relevant information and necessary data to understand the various facets of all these issues. This, as we have learned, is a challenge in itself, as we have encountered concerns with regards to the data itself. Nevertheless, we must soldier on and maximize what we have. It goes without saying that we must ensure that our recommendations and actions are informed and serve the public good. As we proceed, I want to emphasize that we are here to listen, to inquire, to discuss, to deliberate, and ultimately to recommend actions that will safeguard the health of our people while respecting their rights. I again would like to extend my thanks to all our resource persons for their input and expertise. Your contributions are vital to the productivity and success of these hearings. I invite everyone here to engage constructively so that together we can navigate the issues at hand with the diligence they deserve. So in closing, I'd like to share a passage from the good book that underscores the value of every life and the significance of a task before us. In Jeremiah 30:17 it says, "For I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith the Lord." Let this be a reminder of our shared duty to protect and cherish the lives of our fellow citizens and our collective responsibility to promote the welfare of our kaubayan. Maraming salamat po.
Okay, maraming salamat po. Siguro simulan po natin sa mga representatives natin from the DOH to report to us what transpired doon po sa Geneva. So, can you kindly have you acknowledge or acknowledge the resource speakers? That's it. The COMSEC is hereby directed to acknowledge the presence of the resource speakers and also take the oath of this first time who have attended this hearing. So ordered.
Thank you, Your Honor. The following members are present today: Honorable Romeo M. Acop and Honorable Joseph Stephen Caraps Paduano. The resource persons present are the following: from the Department of Health, Assistant Secretary Frances Cheryl Ontalan; from the Epidemiology Bureau, Director Alethea de Guzman; from the Bureau of Quarantine, Director Ferdinand Salcedo; from PhilHealth, the COO, Attorney Eli Dino Santos; and from the Food and Drug Administration, Director Cecilia Matienzo. We also have with us from DOH, Attorney Carmela Ojano and Ms. Athena de Guzman. From the DFA, Deputy Assistant Secretary Ambrosio Bryan Enciso III and Ms. Gladys Brohan. From the Philippine Statistics Authority, Engineer Marisa Grande, the Assistant National Statistician, Ms. Marjorie Villaver, and Ms. Nerissa Palangos. From the Lunas Pilipinas, CDCPH and Legal Light Workers for Life and Liberty, Ms. Sally Ann Clark, Attorney Christine Barbara Bellio, Attorney Alan Landrito, Dr. Godofredo Dalmachon, Ms. Sherry Patino, Ms. Janine Faye Tagarda, Ms. Joy De Los Reyes, Attorney Fidel Borja, Attorney Aaron Sagilon, Dr. Romeo Quijano, and Dr. Jade Del Mundo. That's all, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, so take their oaths, please.
May we request for those who are attending for the first time to stand and raise your right hand for the administration of oath. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this inquiry? Please respond with "I do." Thank you. Please take your seat.
Okay, thank you so much. Good afternoon po. So, who are those people who have traveled to Geneva? Our representative in the World Health Assembly that was conducted from May 27 to June 1? Yes. Who are those people? Yes, madam. So, please state your name and your position in DOH. on this committee, please.
Good afternoon, Your Honors. I'm Attorney Frances May Cheryl Ontalan, Assistant Secretary under the Office of the Secretary, handling the legal service and internal audit. My participation is actually as a negotiator for the intergovernment negotiating body for the pandemic agreement. What happened in the World Health Assembly is actually there are some agendas that are already adopted. This agenda are actually different sets of agenda, and it composes of different areas, especially connected to health, and some are also on the financial side. So there are two. In the World Health Assembly, we also provided our commitments with regard to our international stand in some of the diseases. Of course, our
Doktora po kayo, ma'am?
No, I'm a lawyer.
You are a lawyer?
Yes.
And so you were representing our country as co-facilitator to the different states on our region. Ganun po ba ang naging participation nyo?
No po.
Ano participation po ninyo?
I am authorized by the Office of the President to negotiate po for the pandemic agreement po.
The pandemic agreement,
yes.
The pandemic treaty.
Yes.
But how about the international health regulation that was adopted and ratified in Geneva? Were you a part of it?
It's a separate team. We have actually the group is called the Working Group on the International Health Regulations. Well, with regard to the pandemic agreement, there is a mandated body created by the World Health Assembly also, which is called the Intergovernmental Negotiating Body.
IHB. So you are part of the IHB.
INB.
International Negotiating Body. INB.
Yes.
You were a part of the INB and also the
EB.
Sino ang part nung sa international health regulation that was adopted nung June 1 by Tedros?
There was a drafting group that was created. That was
Where those?
I am part of the drafting group.
So you were part of that group as well?
Not with the WGIHR, but because the committee that's handling the international health regulations and the pandemic agreement had decided to come up.
So you have the authority to tell us what this international health regulation all about? Because kahapon lang dinala sa amin itong international health regulation 2005 that was ratified noong June 1, 2024. Nandito na po. So, andito po yung mga highlighted na mga pagbabago sa international health regulation. You have the copy?
Yes.
Can you kindly give also the members? Kasi ako actually ngayon ko rin lang nakita. And nakita ko na napakarami ng mga amendments. Are you privy with these highlighted words that are a part of the amendments that was done on the IHR?
For some, I am privy to it because I'm not really part of the WGIHR team. But during the drafting group, in the World Health Assembly, there are many drafting groups that were created during the World Health Assembly.
O sige, tell me, Attorney, ano yung mga salient points na binago sa international health regulation? Yung binabanggit namin dito na pinag-uusapan, na supposedly, noong 2023 ba, kasama na po kayo doon?
No po. With the INB po, with the pandemic agreement po talaga ako. They are different instruments po kasi talaga.
Yes, I know.
Yes po.
Yung instrument doon sa IHR, saka sa pandemic agreement, magkaiba talaga yun.
Apo.
So, ang binabanggit namin kasi dito, na nagulat na lang kami, na yung international health regulation, yung period of amendment and rejection no December 1, hindi kami na-inform eh. Kasi hindi namin alam yung nabago doon sa international health regulation. And, according sa statement ni DOH Secretary DOH Secretary Herbosa, binded na tayo legally. Meron akong video. Are we legally binded?
For the last amendment, yes, it is already binding because that's with regard to the procedural amendment regarding the force and effect of the amendments.
So,
it just only refers to the period, not necessarily on the substantial parts, which were later on negotiated by the working group.
So yung, para lang maklaro, no, before I give my my time to the other members who wanted to ask questions. Doon lang ako medyo particular Doon sa period ng amendments na from 18 to 10 months, approve na yon.
Yes po.
Yes, so yun. Yun yung sinasabi ko na hindi tayo nabigyan ng pagkakataon dahil na-expired na, and the DOH were telling us na hindi nila alam. Samantala kami dito, tanong kami ng tanong, ang sinasabi, wala silang alam. Even the representative that was given to us was not a Filipino na representative natin sa WHO. And may immunity siya to be invited on this hearing. But nevertheless, tapos na yun. So in other words, from 18 months, yung period of amendments sa lahat ng mga i-amend sa IHR, 10 months na lang. And yung tinatawag nating 2 years, ganun din, 1 year na lang.
1 year, yes.
So, in other words, itong pandemic treaty or agreement na now, pinag-uusapan na ninyo sa INB, am I correct? Na
Yes.
pinag-uusapan pa yan?
Still ongoing
Yung
negotiations.
pandemic agreement na yan, na treaty na yan. And that will be adopted after a year.
No po. It's a different one po. Just for the information of the committee po, we are abiding by the WHO Constitution. The IHR is under the Article 21 of the WHO Constitution, which refers to regulations, which is actually the listing of possible diseases that may be subject to regulations. But with the INB, it's actually created under Article 19 of the WHO Constitution, which actually requires a ratification of member states before it can be actually put into force and effect. So there's a difference between the two instruments. The IHR is actually called as a regulations because they see that it may eventually be changing according to the circumstances of the times, unlike with the pandemic agreement, which refers to obligations that will really require the ratification or concurrence based on the constitution of the member state.
So yung mga pandemic, sa pandemic treaty, all the proposed amendments were already been received by our state.
With regard to the international health regulations po, just clarify.
Separate yung instrument na yun, IHR
Yes.
okay na yun So, yung bagong pandemic agreement ngayon, kasi yung pandemic agreement
Yes.
that will be ratified as well di ba? So, ang sinasabi nyo, nagkukonsulta sa mga member state. Is that correct na nagkukonsulta sa mga member state? Or the WHO will implement that after a year? Ayan na naman tayo, attorney, tandaan mo
No.
Nung December 1, sinasabi namin na expired na tayo. Hindi namin nalaman na talaga na-expired na tayo. So, hindi na tayo nakapag-propose ng amendments. We were never consulted. But, of course, but this agreement, yung pandemic agreement o treaty, iba to. Ito na yung protocol kapag sinabi nilang meron tayong pandemic. And all the things that happened during the COVID-19, again, yun na naman ang magiging protocol nila. And that is worrying us. Kasi marami ng mga bansa ang nag-exit sa WHO because of this, as I will borrow the words of Congressman Ako. Ano yan, pare? Martial law. Medical martial law.